This is Checking In, a show where I, Kaylyn Kyle, call up familiar names and faces from around the world of sport to say hello, chit-chat about this and that, and discuss the challenges of being housebound. Today, I'll be checking in on Christine Sinclair, a former teammate of mine that needs very little introduction. Canadian international, player for the Portland Thorns in the NWSL, two-time Olympic bronze medalist, and now the leading goal scorer for both male and female internationally.
Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm shocked you actually answered, but where in the world are you at the moment quarantining?
Well, I'm currently in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
First of all, thanks for calling. Came back from France with the national team, stopped in Tampa to pick up my dog on the way to Portland, only to discover that I was put in 2 weeks of quarantine. And then since then, everything's sort of been postponed and canceled. So I'm just chilling in the sun.
It's not a bad place to be. So did Portland call
complain.
you and basically, did Portland call you and basically said, like, you have to self-quarantine there?
It became like a league rule, I guess, for all players returning from like level 3 countries at the time, that you were put into 2 weeks of quarantine, weren't allowed around the team, and they didn't want me traveling because that's an unnecessary risk. And so they're just like, stay put. So I've stayed put in the sun.
Oh, well, that's not bad. All right. And then I need to ask you, how, obviously it's a crazy time. This is something that's really never happened before. How have you been keeping busy at the moment?
You know me, I'm an introvert. Like, it's actually been kind of nice. Just choosing the people you want to be around. And obviously we've got training programs sent from the national team, and they're trying to keep us as busy as possible. The Thorns, 3 times a week, we're running meetings like this as a team. Says he's running like fitness classes for the national team. It's quite adorable. But just hanging out.
So what is the protocol? So Portland does it have a different protocol than the national team of how you're trying to stay match fit at home?
Well, I think like us as national team players that were trying to get ready for the Olympics, we had our own program we were sort of on, and that came from the national team, whereas the Thorns have their own for the environment there. A lot of them are on bikes and things like that because all the fields are closed. So with the national team, we're going 6 days a week right now, but in pretty much any form you can find. I mean, yesterday I was doing like deadlifts with like water jugs and things. Like, you gotta
be creative.
Whatever's available, right? Because all the gyms are closed. I got kicked off the soccer field yesterday, and that was disappointing. But you just make the most of it. It's entertaining to see. I mean, there's people in this complex doing chin-ups on the like stairs. I'm like, good idea. I'll be doing that next. Like,
so Christine Sinclair is taking ideas from tenants in her building. I absolutely love that. Obviously, it was just announced that the 2020 Tokyo Olympics have been postponed until 2021 for obvious reasons. What was your initial reaction when you got that news sent to you?
Well, as a Canadian, obviously the Canadian Olympic Committee, the day before, actually decided that if the Olympics are being held, we're not going. That was a little bit of a shock. I completely agreed with their stance, but to think like, this might be one of my last tournaments. Like, is this just, that's it? It was kind of a shock. But completely agreed with their stance. And then, the following day to wake up and see that the Olympics have actually been postponed, it was like, okay, we've got another year to get ready. I mean, just for the safety of the athletes and the supporters and everyone. I mean, half the athletes haven't even gone through their qualification. Yeah. It's just like, when was that supposed to happen in a safe environment? So I'm all for it. Ideally, I don't want to be preparing for the Olympics stuck in an apartment complex doing chin-ups with my neighbors. So I'm all for the delay and just having a safe Olympics.
But are you guys looking at this at almost like another year? And how are you going to keep these players so focused at the hand at task to know that it's another year to prep. It's another year to get better. And it's another year for more goal scorers to maybe that Canada could produce.
Yeah, I think like heading out of the qualifiers, we were ready. I think we were on track to be where we needed to be come the summer. Obviously it's in our team meeting, it was mixed emotions for people. I mean, you have people coming off of injuries that were excited that it's postponed, so it gives them another year to get ready. Other players felt they were peaking, and it was like, but the way I see it, it's just another year to get better, another year to, hone those 1-2%, and especially in a time like this, you can really focus on the one or two things that you want to improve on as a footballer. And hopefully as a team, we take advantage of that. Hopefully, the one thing that separates this team is like the family, the collective, the work behind the scenes. And this is an excellent opportunity to make the most out of that. I mean, how many other teams are going to be holding like a couple meetings a week, unit meetings, things like that. Hopefully that'll set us apart, and we'll be ready next summer.
So I have to tell everyone watching a little story about you. So my first World Cup, was in 2011. So people that know me and have followed my career, you were my idol. I had pictures of you on my wall as a little kid. Weird. I didn't have Wayne Gretzky. I know it's really weird because now we're friends and we drank a few too many margaritas together. But it's the truth. So I remember getting my parents to drive me down to the U19 World Championship, where I knew this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to play on the Canadian women's national team. I wanted to play alongside Christine Sinclair. And I got that opportunity in 2011 with my first World Cup with you in Germany. And I got the first start of that game, sellout crowd versus Germany, home opener. Nice. And I remember standing in the tunnel and the stadium was shaking. And a lot of people don't know this about you. You're not someone to say too many words. You've always led by example. But I remember I didn't even need to say anything. You knew I was crapping it. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And you came by and you put your hand on my shoulder and you said, just breathe. It'll be okay. So you've obviously played in 5 World Cups now. Obviously another Olympic Games around the corner. So for the youth that this is going to be their first Olympic Games, and obviously with this happening, what have you said to them, or have you had any conversations with them?
Well, just so you know, I don't know if I was telling you to just breathe or for me to just breathe.
That's a lie. We know that's a lie.
No, I mean, but also, Nadine, because she was obviously playing Germany, and she even tells me to this day that was like the most nerve-wracking experience of her life, like standing in the tunnel at the Berlin Olympic Stadium, just being like, oh, what are we about to do?
I felt sick.
Yeah, me too. No, I think the one thing about the youngsters on this national team is they have experience. Whether that was last summer's World Cup, whether that was playing in youth World Cups, players coming in now aren't fresh in a way. They've been there, they've done that. But that being said, there's nothing that can prepare you for your first Olympic Games. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them were, 6-7-year-olds just dreaming of being in the Olympics. I mean, that was my dream. That was your dream. I didn't care what sport I was going to play. I just wanted to be an Olympian. And my advice to them is just to enjoy it, soak it all in, just enjoy every moment of it. And this year of delay, use it to get better.
So Sink, I need to ask you, you recently just broke the record for most goals scored, both men and female, internationally. You passed Abby Wambach. She was on 184, and now you blew by that at the Olympic qualification tournament. Now I need to ask, because you're always so calm, cool, and collective, and you always give the best responses to the media, but being your friend, was this weighing on your mind? And were you like, I need to beat this thing before I retire? And you need to be honest with me.
Oh, 100 million bajillion percent. You ask our mental guy with the national team, can it, any of my close friends or family, it had been on my mind for probably a year and a half as the numbers started to tick away, and it was okay, this is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So stressful. Just wanted to get it out of the way. And And then, knowing that we were like, nothing against St. Kitts, but knowing we were playing them first in the qualifiers, I pretty much like asked Kenneth if he would play me.
And you're like, everyone just give me the ball.
Right. And it's just like, I put immense pressure on myself to like try and get it out of the way in that game so that we could focus on other things the rest of the turn. Yeah, it was so stressful.
So what was the feeling when you put the ball into the back of net? I know that Adriana Leon, I absolutely love her. I think she's a phenomenal player as well. But I know she said to you before the game, I'm going to make this happen for you. When that ball came across and you put it in the back of the net, what was going through your mind?
Like, honestly, just like, thank God. Like, just like, no, just like hit the target. Okay, good. And then just relief. I'm not going to lie. Just like the weight of that moment just to be gone, to be able to celebrate it with like my teammates and some of my best friends that I've like grown up with. And all they wanted, they're like, just bowl for us. I'm like, okay, I'll bowl.
I was going to ask you both.
I had nothing to do with the planning of that, but I said I would participate in a goal celebration. And then the fools on the bench had like the masks, which I had no idea that Chappie had been up doing arts and crafts all night.
By the way, I got hammered on Twitter about that because obviously during the World Cup, I was a little bit hard on the American team of their celebrations. The amount of tweets that I got and said, did you just see the Canadian women's team bowling? I'm like, she just broke the record. It's different. It is so different.
And it was only like the third goal of the game. Like, it wasn't like it was the 12th or anything.
No, but congratulations on that. That's absolutely huge. And you are well-deserved to receive that honor.
Thank you.
All right, Sinky, now I need to ask you your recommendations. So while we're at home during this quarantine, what is your favorite Netflix series that you're watching at the moment?
I'm so embarrassed to admit it, but like I'm in the middle of Tiger King.
Oh, no. Sinky, I thought you were better than this.
So did I.
Wait, what episode are you on? Because I got to 4 and I don't know if I could finish it or not.
I think I'm on like 5.
On 5. And what do you think?
I think they're all nuts. Like, all nuts.
Do you think she fed her husband to the tiger? Be honest.
I do.
Why? Any books that you can recommend to viewers watching?
Ooh, right now I'm reading. So I watched the like Chernobyl series, and so I'm reading a book. It's called Midnight in Chernobyl, and it's just a little bit more detailed about the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. So I'm partway through that one.
Okay. See, that's what we're very different. I don't think I've opened up a book ever in my life. Maybe like Cosmo or like People's magazines, but I just finished Just Mercy. It became a motion picture. It's about like the criminal justice system in the U.S. and the death penalty. Oh yeah, interesting.
I'm educating myself.
Okay, so rapid fire. Are you ready?
Yep. Oh, I'm born ready.
Are you nervous a little bit?
No.
Okay. I'm good. Sorry, I have my papers here because I have a lot and I want to like get them off quick. So, Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi. You're judging. You're judging. Yeah. Mm-hmm. With cane sugar. Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with sugar, but Coke just is so smooth. Anyways, okay. Netflix or going to the cinemas?
Netflix.
Okay. Tiger King, shock. All right. Yeah. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Ooh. I feel like this one could get some people in trouble. All right. Hat trick or last minute winner?
Last minute winner. I've scored the hat tricks and lost, so let's win.
I've done neither, so there's that. Avengers or Star Wars?
I've seen none of them.
Okay, I'm gonna help. Avengers.
Okay,
Star Wars
Avengers.
fans are gonna hate me. Okay. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
What's your go-to breakfast? Eggs, toast?
Anything. Like I change it up. Some days I'll make pancakes, but my typical is like scrambled eggs and toast. Or English muffin.
Pause. Are you a good cook?
No, I can follow a recipe.
All right, shower or bath?
Shower.
J-Lo or Shakira?
J-Lo.
Oh, interesting. Who do you think had the better performance at the halftime show this year?
Ooh. J-Lo.
Top one. Really?
I'm a bigger fan of her, so, you know.
If I'm 50 and I'm looking like that, things are going well.
The whole bowl thing, though, was a little weird. Grammys.
Grammys, good, yeah. The Office or Game of Thrones?
So I never watched The Office, and I made it through about 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, so I will say Game of Thrones.
Okay, good one. Twitter or Instagram? Neither.
Twitter? At least I have that on my phone.
You don't have Instagram, do you?
So I do. I think people have told me I have Instagram.
Yeah, you're verified on Instagram, and I tag you in it all the time, and I never get responses back.
So
and
but I think the one that's verified actually isn't me, because I feel like someone like made a picture of me like riding a shark or something, or surfing on I don't know. I wouldn't do that. But I actually do have an Instagram account, and I think I posted 3 photos and then I deleted it from my phone.
Oh, okay. So Twitter. Savory or sweet?
Sweet.
Beach or mountains? I feel like this is a tricky one for you.
Mountains. As I'm stuck in Florida.
That's why. Yeah, I was gonna say you're stuck in Florida, but you're a BC girl at heart. So, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
That's where we will always agree. Socializing or social distancing? I feel like I know the answer.
Social distancing, 100%.
Well, thank you so much. It was honestly a pleasure catching up with you and checking in to see what you're doing during this crazy time in our world. And we wish you the best of luck with the Portland Thorns and with the Olympics just around the corner.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a blast.